black parents tap in. Would you be okay with your daughter unbraiding her teacher's hair? Now, on first thought, I'm like, no, but also, it's no because like, ain't that bitch in school? Like, what is my daughter doing your hair for? Like, if she not teach, if you're not teaching her, like, we gotta have some standards and practices, S&Ps. But then you watch the video and you learn. Like, I'm gonna play some of it as soon as I get it to fit the screen correctly. Give me a second. You watch the video and you learn it wasn't even that deep of a joint. Right here, I'm gonna play some of it.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in it.
He's at 10 minutes. He's at 10 minutes before dismissal time. If y'all didn't hear, 10 minutes before dismissal is like, they ain't learning shit no way, no how.
Which had people saying this was inappropriate, and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may.
All right. He goes on to say in his long ass video, we're not gonna watch the full thing because it's 2 minutes 20 seconds. Like, yo, like it's the end of the day. The students that did it are usually good students. Like, I racked up the lesson plan. It was students from other classes who came to help, but the other teachers knew that. The other teachers sent kids to my class, and I told them, don't send no kids that ain't done their work. And everybody that got sent was like, was done their work. From there, we learned this. I believe this is the right video. I put these in together earlier today. Wait, what? The male teacher who went viral last week for showing his female students helping him take out his braids on TikTok has reportedly been fired from his teaching job. As he should have, though. To be fair, like, he should have been fired. I get it. I get why people fired him. I get why he got fired. You on the clock taking your hair out. That's I'm not all about respectability politics because you can make a case that there's some like crown law stuff. You don't know what crown law is. It was a case a few years ago about people's hair. Yeah, the Crown Act. Hold on, let me show y'all. The Crown Law is creating a respectful and open world for natural hair access 2020. Whatever. The whole bill that was passed was basically about protecting black people's rights to like have different hairstyles and stuff like that. Like, people would say like, locks were like dreadful. People were saying locks was like unprofessional hairstyle. So I don't want to make it like it's some Crown Act stuff. Like, I'm not saying that him having braids somehow make him less unprofessional than a guy with like waves, but him just taking his hair out in the middle of a classroom would be unprofessional. The same way if a nigga with waves was just brushing his hair in the middle of a class, that would be unprofessional. The same way if like the teacher had a weave and she was brushing her weave in the middle of class, that'd be unprofessional. Like, some things you just don't do inside professional settings. And I think he crossed the line with just, number one, just doing your hair at work. Just doing your hair at work, it should be a no. It should be a no-go, regardless of who's touching the hair. Now, you add the extra layer of it was children touching his hair. Now, we are in a very sensitive time, especially with the whole certified pedophile shit and like the Drake conversation, where I feel like all of us are hyper fixated on protecting kids from predators. And I would like to say that I don't think these niggas is predators. I think these niggas is weird. Some shit ain't predatory. Some niggas is just weird, right? And that sound like I'm defending pedophiles or some shit like that. But no, like a nigga playing basketball with 16-year-old boys all the time. He's hanging out with 16-year-old boys. He's 26. Does that make him a predator? No. He's weird. He should go find some adults to hang out with. You see what I'm saying? Like, this nigga having teenage girls take out his hair, very, number one, it reminded me of like an African painting. I'm not on some millennial shit. It was just like one of them, just like, oh, that's kind of like cultural. It's a cultural thing. But also it's like, it is weird. Like, they are teenagers. It's not like all these women are like co-workers or family members or something like that. There are kids that he teach. It's weird more than it is pedophilic. But he lost his job. People was bringing up an old TikTok. I don't know if I put that inside my notes. An old TikTok that I remember from when I was on back in my old TikTok days. Let me see. Is it up here? No. It's a video of him crying. I forgot about this. This shit is funny though. This shit is funny. Why? I don't know why he thought it was a good job to hop on TikTok live with his set. Like his set similar to mine's right now.
That I posted.
Like
I wanted to come on here and read some of the messages that my students are sending me.
See, weird. Like weird. That's a weird statement. Why you got fired? Why are students texting you when you don't work there? That's weird. Don't make it pedophilic, but it's weird. It's questionable. And I get it's being a hypersensitive time. Like, yo, any question we ask with your kids, let's get them out of here. I don't blame none of y'all, but that's just weird. Like, what you mean your students is texting you? I can understand, like, if you still work at the school, students having your number to text you about certain shit. Because what's the difference between student texting you and student have? Back a decade ago when I was in high school, it was email. But that was before everybody just used their phones for everything. Like now we use our phones. Like a decade ago, phones weren't. A decade ago when I was in high school, like my high school didn't allow you to have my high school didn't allow you to have your phone on you while you were in school. Like you had to put it in your locker and turn it off. That's how like we were like still really learning how important phones were today. We weren't as hyper connected as we are today. In 2012, when I started high school, we weren't as hyper connected. So when I first started, we had to put our phones in our lockers. Today, that would be you're not about to tell no kid they got to put their phone in their locker. No, the first thing they're going to tell you, what if my mom need to call me? What if emergency happens? We are all getting information all the time with our phones. So it's a bit different. So I understand him having student numbers while he works at the school, because what if a kid needs to ask you a question about this or that or the third thing? Also, another real quick thing, there was reports of the parents of the kids in the video didn't have issues with it. It was like, no, this is kind of like, I like that he's interacting with the kids in a way that is relatable to them. So it was, you know what I mean? But he fucking reads his message. I think this video is funny though. Hold on, can I play some of this? This nigga start crying, yo.
Some of the messages that they've been sending me.
Dog, you can't cry. You cannot cry while you got a septum piercing and you got like thought lights in your bedroom about kids texting your phone. This is a bad look, my nigga. Like this is just, it look bad, my nigga. Like this shit look crazy, dog. Like, my dog got thought tapestry on his walls. Like, these the tapestries you see inside a college girl's bedroom. And he got LED lights. And you got a Led Zeppelin H&M tee on. And you crying about teenage girls texting your phone. That is weird, my nigga. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird more than anything else. But, moving on from that, there was another, people start posting more reports of teachers having very inappropriate relationships with their kids. With their kids, I mean the kids inside their class. And then I saw this one, a story of Audrina Williams, another beloved teacher. She posted seemingly innocent videos of her students who she considered friends too. Came out in December that she was sleeping with one of them. So I looked her up and saw this video. She's flirting with them in this video, this kid.
I think he wants to be back in 9th grade.
Why do you keep coming down this hall?
She be calling me, y'all. She be emailing me to come down.
Why you?
Now listen, when I first saw this video, I was like, nah, it ain't. They just, I was in high school, and I remember like kids had relationships with teachers like this, and I wanted to defend her. Until I saw this. Warrant for Dougherty County teacher release. Audrina Williams charged with sexual assault of a student. It goes on to say, The warrants described the offense as being an employee or agent of the public school system, and said subject did engage in sexually explicit conduct with another person whom she knew is a student enrolled at the school of which she's employed at, which is hilarious that they had described it that way, because it almost makes it seem like fucking a kid at the school you work at is worse than just fucking a normal kid. Like, if she was just fucking a kid, it wouldn't have been as worse, but like fucking a kid at the school you work at is like, damn, like you got a farm system, like you got a pipeline, like she the Nick Saban of pedos. It's crazy. She got but I saw it, and by the way, this is the girl who made this video. I don't know if y'all saw this. It's gonna be an ad. Fuck, I should have played it.
So if you live out of your truck like I do,
who the fuck live out their truck? All right, fuck it. Okay. Can I type it in on YouTube? Don't worry about me watching Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons, the greatest white podcaster of all time. Like, bar none. Is Bill and then everybody else. Yo, what was her song? Here we go. I remember when this shit dropped a few years ago. I don't know if y'all remember this.
What's poppin'? Miss Evans on the beat, so tap in. You got options, but you better pass my class, no flopping. Gon' log in every day, every morning I'm watching. Yeah, we virtual and you know it's up, so we about to take it up a notch. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but this is the same lady that got charged with fucking a kid. She made a What's Poppin' freestyle about kids coming back to school. And she got charged with fucking. This is some Pied Piper shit, y'all. This is what R. Kelly was doing. She making music for the kids to fuck the kids. That's insane, y'all. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, before I get into my initial point, I do want to address the point that these two people are black people. And I don't want to feed into gender war conversations, because one person was a black man. I was discussing him like, no, he just weird. And I'm talking about the black woman like, yo, she's definitely a pedophile. I don't want to feed into gender wars conversations. I want to tell you why I'm discussing those people like that. One has actually been, she got caught. There is news reports of her fucking kids. She got fired because she was fucking kids. That's proof. Get her the fuck out of here. One would just be inappropriate with kids. He's just weird. So that's why I'm talking about these two things like that. It isn't like some implicit biases I have towards against black women and some favor I'm showing towards black men. It's just like one was actually caught being a fucking pedo. But now to the greater point I want to make. I have 2 points. Number one, both these people are black millennials, and long-time listeners of this podcast know I hate black millennials. I feel like they exist in this Peter Pan generation of people who never want to grow up. And I think these two people exemplify those traits of like, why do you want to have these close interpersonal relationship with these students? Like I completely understand wanting to relate to the kids on like a personal level of like, hey, I'm not that much older than you. I understand your plight. I understand the things you go through. You and I should have a better relationship so we can work through our issues together. I get that. But like making TikToks with them and shit, making rap songs for them and shit, you got the kids touching your hair. It's weird. You a grown ass adult. Like, I feel like we as grown-ups lost the phrases that our parents used to have when our parents just say, yo, I'm not your little friend. I'm not this grown folk business. Like, what happened to those statements inside our community where we would separate ourselves from the children? It need to be more separating ourselves from kids and children, dog. Because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense that man thought it was a good idea. Like, pedophile or not, fuck the pedophilia aspect. Fuck the respectability aspects. Fuck the professionability. Fuck the professionalism aspect of all this. How you thought it was a good idea to have 6 underage girls touch your head? Be for real. Like, real deal, look yourself in the mirror and think about the optics of that. Just how that looks. These bitches like peasants, excuse me. These little girls like peasants. Fondling your head. You like a king looking for his next young bride, you fucking nasty, freaky fuck. It looked disgusting. It looked nasty. You see what I'm saying? And I think the only way to eliminate this kind of sickness is to stop hiring young teachers. It just, when I was a kid, there was one teacher I wanted to fuck. Her name was Miss Bazemore. Miss Bazemore, she had to be in her early 20s, and she had the fattest of asses. She had a fucking donkey on her back. Now, why did I ever find Miss Bazemore attractive? Because I knew she was only a few years older than me. Miss Bazemore, I'm 27. I'll be 27 this year. Miss Bazemore is probably only 36. Like, maybe. I could go find Miss Bazemore right now and plow. I can go blam Miss Bazemore right now. Right now, I can go blam Miss Bazemore. You see what I'm saying? Like, but there's other teachers like I had, like Miss Young. Miss Young was a black woman in her late 40s. There was a true generational divide between her and I. I had our whole relationship with her was, she is definitely my superior and I'm her student. I couldn't even, I remember seeing Miss Young after high school and still being like scared of her. Like I remember I was in the mall. I was in the mall and I saw Miss Young on a Saturday. She was out shopping. And I was like, hey, Miss Young. And before I walked up to her, I pulled my pants up, dog. I'm sagging because I'm a little young dumb tough street punk. You know what I mean? You sag your pants a bit. I pulled my pants up before I talked to her because I know when I give her this, she gonna tell me to pull my pants up. Like that's the kind of like leaders we looking for. Like we don't need, like these kids don't need friends. These kids don't need companions. These kids need leadership. And I think a problem with these black millennials is they want to be friends with the kids because they are still kids themselves. The Peter Pan generation is never growing up. These niggas still see themselves as 16-year-olds. Cuz you 29. You 29, twin. You are 29 years old. Your teenage years are far behind you. There's no looking back. It's time to let it go.